Grocery shopping is just really stressful these days because you have to prepare, you have to plan, you get anxiety if things go up too much.
As she walks the supermarket aisle, single mum Shami Walker agonises about whether she has enough money to feed her 2 teenage daughters properly.
I've spent roughly $40. I've just brought some Weet-Bix, some salads.
Shami is a casual worker who lives near Penrith in Sydney's western suburbs and is short on cash. In desperation, she's been turning to a new type of fast money lender she came across online.
I think an ad for My Pay Now popped up and I just was like, oh, okay, I wonder what this is. Click and follow and signed up, and at first it was just like $50 and then it was like next time it was more, and it was just so easy.
With My Pay Now, you can access your wage early. Download the app to get started.
As more Australians struggle with the soaring cost of living, they're turning to pay advance products. With a few clicks on a smartphone, you can access your wages before you've earned them. But critics warn the products are dangerous because they exploit major gaps in Australia's credit laws, which mean the companies don't have to check if the loan's affordable.
It is the wild, wild west. We're just concerned with cost of living generally, that more and more people will turn to pay on demand or wage access and think it's an easy way through, but in fact it will make often your financial position a lot worse.
There's around $3.2 billion being advanced in 2022, so it's a sizable segment and it's growing very rapidly. This is a bright and shining area that looks attractive to consumers because there's a slick advertising, there's an app that's easy to use, it's nice and convenient, but, and there's a but here, it's lending and it's not treated that way.
2 of the biggest providers are the stock exchange listed Before Pay and the Gold Coast-based My Pay Now. Both lend up to $2,000 and charge the customer a 5% fee on top. That's repaid quickly, either during the next pay period or about 60 days.
For us, we simply charge a one-time 5% fee, and if you borrow $300, you owe us $315. We charge you a $15 fee, and that number will never change.
However, financial counsellors argue what isn't clear to regular users is they're really paying sky-high interest rates.
If you're being charged 5% of the amount advanced, and you continue to roll over those loans, and you do that every fortnight, the nominal interest rate is 26 by 5%, so that's 130% per annum. That's a nominal interest rate. No other credit provider can charge eye-watering interest rates to that level.
So I share Fiona's concern about repeat usage. If somebody is using the product more frequently than we would like, we will start to send them tailored communications that start to point them towards resources that may be helpful for them.
That's literally a card. If we can't own land in our real life, at least I can be independently wealthy in magic.
Yeah, on different planets.
Shami first turned to pay advance providers almost 3 years ago to cover a large vet bill.
I'll sometimes get Monday.
It wasn't long before her regular use became a serious problem.
Once you pay back the money, you're like, oh, I actually need that money. And so you borrow it again. It's just a vicious cycle.
So when we onboard a customer, we will look at every line item on their banking statements going back as much as 2 years. So we generally do have a good understanding of where may they have other debts.
730 has calculated how much Shami borrowed. Her statements show 4 different providers loaned her almost $8,500. By far the most was with My Pay Now, which she's used more than 50 times.
Seriously? Oh my God. No. No way. It just doesn't feel like that.
Shami has been able to make some repayments, but feels anxiety when she can't. Debt collectors have pursued her.
I'd have huge moments of anxiety, stress and existential dread. Just going, crap, what am I doing? I'm 37 and I've got so much debt. I need to pay it back and I don't know how to pay it back. And I'm just working and working and working.
I mean, it's absolutely shocking, but it's also not surprising because it's unregulated credit.
Welcome to the new MyPay Now offer.
The CEO of MyPay Now isn't shy about his flashy head office on Queensland's Glitter Strip.
We have 360-degree views of everywhere around the Gold Coast.
Since 2020, MyPay Now has advanced more than $1 billion.
I think this bit here is just extraordinary.
The peak national body for financial counsellors has filed a complaint against MyPay Now with ASIC.
There is nothing that probably this client can do.
The complaint alleges that the company threatened legal action against a homeless man with a gambling addiction who owes $100.
When the financial counsellor tried to negotiate with the company, they were very difficult to negotiate with. They said, well, we're not subject to the national credit laws.
7:30 requested an interview with MyPay Now and sent written questions, but the company did not respond. On its website, it says it assesses whether each loan is affordable and suitable, and it will consider concerns raised by ASIC and consumer organisations.
Hi, Katie. I'm future Katie.
When Beforepay made its bid to become a publicly listed company last year, it provided detailed information about who its customers were.
He's early.
It's told potential investors they're targeting the 5 million Australians who are working but have little to no savings.
Katie, you deserve the lobster.
They're also targeting that group of people, suggesting that they use this money for kind of what you would think would not be good use of credit, such as parties and buying an extra round of drinks at the pub.
The most common way that we play a constructive role in the financial life of a consumer is by enabling them to avoid predatory products such as payday lending, or alternatively putting a balance on a credit card that is going to revolve forever and end up being extremely expensive.
Consumer groups are pushing the Albanese government to urgently change credit laws to place responsible lending obligations on the pay advance providers, something being considered for the buy now, pay later sector. Stephen Jones, the Minister for Financial Services, told 7:30 the government is monitoring the sector closely.
We need to hear something from the government by the end of the year. So this is a product which is going to expand and expand exponentially.
We're on the record as supporting sensible minimum standards for the industry.
Shami is doing everything she can to get her family out of debt by paying back the providers in small instalments. But it's a slow grind.
I honestly wish I'd never, ever used them in the first place.